Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, road ragers of all ages, it is I, your reigning Wrestling Road Rage Network champion, the SKFeffect Kenneth, and I am joined by not so Ichiban.
Number 2?
See? Ichiban's
One
just,
sweet.
is just not feeling himself right now. But he's still here, and we're still going to go over our predictions of what has been leading up to a very confusing and now very interesting WWE Survivor Series, aka WWE
Bragging rights.
aka SmackDown vs. Raw.
2017.
Technically it'd be 2K18 because it always came up.
But it's not. We're not talking about 2K.
But it'd still be,
it's
it'd still be like the
2007.
games.
Yeah.
So,
no, in a point, you know how I mentioned before when you had your diabolical theory about Bayley coming back and stuff, and the more convoluted it got, the more realistic your conspiracy theory seemed.
I have a lot of realistic seeming conspiracy theories, but go ahead.
Well, you alluded that Survivor Series just kept getting more confusing and more confusing and more confusing. And today, I don't know if it was lack of sleep or what, but when I was putting all the pieces together, I'm like, they've planned this thing the whole time. It's not because of, illnesses and other outside influences and stuff like that. No, they've had this whole thing planned. I mean, gee golly, Roman Reigns is cleared to come back.
Just before Survivor, but he missed out on the big TLC return.
Yeah, but what other 3-person stable that people actually want to see exists to take on the Shield? Who? And, all the pieces are falling together, and it really does seem. Who wanted to see Jinder versus Brock? Nobody.
There are a few people, but that's for the sole purpose of seeing Jinder get the hell beat out of him.
That would have been funny.
The only reason I was looking forward to it.
Now, for the record, I'm not a Jinder hater. 3MB, baby. But, AJ versus Brock.
He really only liked 2 of the 3, but he still hinders Jinder as much as anybody.
I call him how I see him.
Well, let's get back to what we're going to say for the first match, which is Alexa Bliss, the Raw Women's Champion, versus the SmackDown Women's Champion, who by Survivor Series will either be Natalya or Charlotte. Or, wild card, Carmella.
That's true. I kind of keep forgetting that she has the briefcase.
She does, because everyone's all distracted with Ellsworth and on a train. But yeah, Carmella is still Miss Money in the Bank. She could very easily cash in during the Charlotte-Natalya match taking place on SmackDown. She could even cash in middle of Alexa and whomever she's facing.
I don't think she should pull a Seth Rollins.
She could pull Seth Rollins, still go for the pin.
That's true.
She could decide she wants the Raw Woman. Is it bound to just the SmackDown Women's title?
I don't know. I mean, the briefcase is white.
Interesting questions on it.
I think it's a hard choice because with what I was alluding to before, if some of the reports I've heard, there might be some punishments being handed out that might affect that match, as well as the women's Survivor Series elimination match. But
Did somebody do a naughty?
Yeah, pinkies up.
So,
T.
So let's go with we'll cut Carmella out for a moment. Alexa versus Natalya or Charlotte. Do you think SmackDown's going to take it, or do you think Raw's going to take it?
And the real big X factor is Charlotte or Natalya. That's what it really comes down to. But I'm still going to go with Bliss.
Still want to go with the goddess of WWE. I kind of feel like they need to, just because they really need to set up Bliss as kind of this unstoppable force, because we know eventually she's going to get Asuka. We know she's going to get Asuka. So let it...
Do we, though? Do we?
Well, it is WWE.
I mean, at this point, she's realistically beaten the real Goldberg streak. Like, if you were to actually add his matches together, not the mythical number that kept adding up every time he was on TV. And she beat Punk for a title reign. So WWE did its job there. I still say Bliss.
Yep. So we're gonna say both agreement. Say Raw is gonna get that one. This is going to be very interesting, and I'm pretty sure we're both gonna go Raw on this too. The Miz, Intercontinental Champion of Raw, versus United States Champion either Baron Corbin or Sin Cara. Who Sin Cara is getting a push because of his shoes?
Shoes? Strangest thing wrestling related I've heard in a long time.
So,
but he did sign a multi-year deal.
Yep.
And he's receiving kind of a push.
So I gotta say, no matter who, Corbin or Sin Cara, I gotta go Miz.
Miz, baby. Miz never lets me down.
He never has for this guy on high-profile matches.
He is my golden goose.
Trust me. Which will lead us to Team Raw of Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Jason Jordan.
Hey, nepotism has its place everywhere.
One
apparently
of these
in wrestling.
things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. Anyway. Versus Team SmackDown, Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena!
Yeah, I'm going with SmackDown. Yeah, SmackDown.
Braun Strowman's he has been pinned this year.
Yep.
So Braun will either get pinned by Super Cena, or he'll get a double count out. Maybe him and Cena will double count each other.
Alright, list SmackDown again?
Shane McMahon.
Okay.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay.
And John Cena.
Okay. Yeah, SmackDown's gonna win. Because to date, none of Team SmackDown is rivaling or hating on each other, and almost everyone on Team Raw
has issue
with each other and can't stop beating the crap out of each other. So I think that'll lead to Raw's demise.
Jason Jordan will screw his daddy.
I think he's gonna be no, you know what? I think he's gonna be the last person eliminated. It's too on the nose for him that he would be the first one eliminated. Maybe they're gonna Ziggler him. He's gonna just survive Survivor Series matches. Jason Jordan could win the Survivor Series match on his own.
Done. Nothing will beat Kofi though.
No.
So our next Survivor Series match, Team Raw of Captain Alicia Fox,
Foxy,
Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and to be determined, which it's either Bayley, Dana Brooke, or Mickie James.
Paige.
Or this guy has another hope there. So,
Milky White Princess,
who apparently released a video today that she is single again.
That's a smart decision. I'm in with your mom.
Clip?
many matches coming into this tournament that weren't heavily anticipated.
Versus Team SmackDown, Captain Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Tamina, and a to-be-determined between Natalya and Charlotte. I guess winner is champion, loser becomes member of the team. So, where does your heart lead there? Team Raw or Team SmackDown?
This one's actually harder to call than the men's match.
See, I would say Team Raw, just because they have Asuka.
Yeah,
But we have seen Asuka could get counted out.
that's true.
Asuka could get herself disqualified. Number of reasons what could pull her from that match. We've given Raw a lot of wins. I think SmackDown can take this Survivor Series too. I think SmackDown can get both Survivor Series matches.
This is really difficult. Lack of sleep is definitely affecting my cognitive abilities, but I'm gonna go with Team Raw.
It's not, like you said, it's a tough choice. It could go either way. That's going to be a fun match, though, as long as the women are given the time to perform.
You know, last year's Survivor Series big elimination match actually stole the show.
Right, which, WWE, we remember Nikki Bella being attacked before the match. Don't pull that shit this year again. Try to be different. Try. Potty break match. The Cruiserweight title. The only title on the line.
Is this Kalisto's last attempt?
I kinda hope.
With Hideo and Spuddy Buddy set to go straight to 205. Which, I mean, you know, that's gotta...
I look forward to Rockstar making a debut.
That's gonna be actually awesome. He'd look good with the big purple belt.
Especially in a fancy suit, if they keep him in the fancy suit with the purple suit.
The ridiculous fancy suits. Yes.
He'll steal it. Alright, tossing out Enzo. Kalisto got his win, which apparently that's all you can get against people. Like Tozawa got against Neville. He won it on Raw, lost it on a pay-per-view. Kalisto won it on Raw and lost it on pay-per-view.
I have this feeling that all this drama surrounding Enzo, backstage heat, I think that's all bullshit.
Helping him.
I think that's all bullshit. I think it's all, you know, clickbait.
Maybe.
I'm almost wanting to say that Kalisto and Enzo would trade the belt back at least one more time each, because Enzo would then just keep racking up. Then he would eliminate Neville's second championship win.
Could be.
And be the 3-time Cruiserweight champion.
Yay.
But how can I go against the Zoe train? So I'm going Enzo.
This came out of nowhere for the match, but it is The Bar versus the Uso Penitentiary.
Once again, this is really a difficult one.
I'm really hoping they kind of just let this be a no rules, go out there and beat the hell out of each other match, because that could steal the show.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, because you have one half of the 4 tag teams that have absolutely put on the best tag team performances for the last several months. Usos and New Day, every match got better.
Yep.
And Rollins and Ambrose, Shield, 2/3 or whatever, and The Bar, they are fun to watch.
They show some toothless aggression.
I can't help but think that my brain is broken on this one, but I'm going to go with The Bar.
So you know what? I got to go Usos. They have been so much more on a roll with matches.
No, I agree.
I think it's got to be. I'm going to go Usos on it.
And catchphrases aside, you know, I have been down with the Usos since day one-ish. When they were dressed like this before they were colorful, and then came back to, you know, dressed like this.
Yeah. Now then, a moment of silence for these great variations that we have been given of the Olympic Shield and the Phenomenal Shield, the King of Kings Shield,
The Shield's gonna kill you?
the Renee Young Shield, even a Samoa Joe Shield.
Shield's gonna kill you.
Now we have just the Shield back. But they're going against the New Day! And we all know.
New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New
But
Day rocks.
we know Shield will probably get the win on there because
I don't know, when do you think they're gonna pull the trigger on
Roman likes to go to Vince and go, ooh, ah.
I think, depending on when they're going to pull the trigger on this Ambrose Rollins breakup thing again, I know that this Shield reunion was not meant to be a long running one, and with Roman, all the push that they're doing for Roman, it would push him back.
Roman, yeah. Well, it pushes all of them back. I mean, like I felt it was a de-evolution of them once I saw them all. When I saw Seth and Dean just kind of come back in Shield attire. I know a lot of people were happy, but they just lost their individual identities.
If they just did it as like a one-off for like the pay-per-view or something, that would be different.
Roman
but
still,
we never got that.
Because Roman never left his Shield identity.
Well, yeah, he put a big butterfly on his belly.
But he was still wearing the same clothes, pretty much. Seth and Dean switched.
Yes.
But now they got put back. That's why I said it was like a de-evolution for them. But, you know what?
De-evolution is a mystery.
I have nothing to go with that one. But, you know what? At the end of the day, I kind of hope Roman's the one that turns on them. Let him turn on them. Let him be like, I'm the big bad tough guy. I don't need you all. I'm the big dog.
I actually wouldn't mind that, but you know what? There's a big flaw in that. That would be Roman turning heel.
Which he needs to!
And you know that takes that completely off Creative's plate.
Even though I believe it was Triple H that said, well, if y'all boo him, he's a heel anyway. Just let him
And
be
you
a
can't
heel.
you can't argue that logic because it's spot on.
So then, what I'm hoping will be the main event of the show, it should be, right? It's their big champion versus the big champion.
I would hope.
You would think it would be. It is the Beast, Brock Lesnar,
You're no
versus...
Paul Heyman.
No, I'm not.
No.
No one is Paul Heyman except Paul Heyman. Versus the Phenomenal One. Versus the champ that runs the camp. The face that runs the place. We're talking AJ freaking Styles.
He's still allowed to too sweet. This is a very difficult one for me.
It's difficult because we all know this is our match that is head versus heart. Because we know who we want to win. We know who we want to see get the win. But we know who's probably going to get the win.
So you have to ask yourself, when they leaked that little bit of information for the Indian tour where they advertised Jinder as a 2-time WWE champion, does that mean that AJ goes over and when they go to India, Jinder wins it back from a hot, over champion? Or does the Beast destroy the Phenomenal One and leave him broken, and
then
Jinder
Maharaja comes back,
scoops up the mess?
I would love for the latter, or not the latter, the first one. I would love it to be AJ beats the Beast, goes on this hot fire, and then Jinder somehow screws him. And then it sets up a feud.
I'm going to pick that one.
Either way, AJ needs to be champion as we head towards WrestleMania. And god damn it, WWE, let Nakamura become number one contender for then. And give us a 30-minute AJ versus Nakamura match.
That would be amazing.
Or Bobby Roode. I will accept Bobby Roode and AJ.
But you know what? neither one of them needs to be champion, but they need to be given the time on the Mania card. That's one of those matches where, yeah, the title doesn't even have to be involved.
There are so many beautiful matches that could take place as we get towards WrestleMania. And you're right, they don't need the title, but we know a lot of times the championship matches are what gets the time.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going with the first one. I'm going with AJ goes over and is on a hot streak, because if the WWE is wanting to build that Indian market and build a strong, dominant Indian champion,
Funny that
he's going to have to win an impressive, either impressive upset or...
Funny that they really focus on this Indian market after some other company went to India and did some tapings of their show there. Just saying. It's true.
Well, you know, people will forget that. I don't even know what the hell to call that other company will exist, because they'll be bankrupt tenfold over. Because now they're paying their fans to attend their shows. That's not how you run a business! Fans pay you. That's how you stay in business.
Actors. Get background actors. Alright, so we're both in agreement for there. We both want to see AJ Styles beat Brock Lesnar, because that's just the way it is. And for WWE reasons, we can say AJ winning would be just too sweet.
And best for business.
Yes, it would. That concludes this episode. We'll see you guys back. I am Kenneth. This is the artist formerly known as Ichiban. And we'll see you next time.
And don't forget, Tiki Club is foot.
Fired.
Lucha style.
But they tell two friends, and then they tell two friends, and then they tell two friends.
None of them
and then
even
they
shared
tell...
it. Not even Caesar. Shame on you, Caesar.
Seriously. Someone should strip him of the Rush Hour Championship. So, in a typical asshole fashion, I decided not to send the two newest possible final drafts of the Freaky Tiki Bullet Club design, because in fairness it would be unfair to you.
Okay.
The color schemes.
Oh. I
That'd be
saw a
pretty fun.
camo one that you posted up.
It wasn't camo.
One looked camo. Better than your purple or whatever the first one was, where you, could barely read the words.
You know what it was? Is
No, what was it?
they were too loud, or too detailed. I needed to go more cartoony with it, because the more detail it was, the harder it was to read the words.
You know,
even though those patterns were 10 times better.
If I had the money to waste, I'd have printed out your Freaky Tiki, taken it, and had Bullet Club sign it, cease and desist.
That would be amazing. That would have been amazing. Did you go to that?
It's a Sunday.
What day is it?